I know for a fact you've seen this photo going around on TikTok. If you do, use the app. Because I do. And it just so happened that I was, to put it simply, intrigued by what the frick is this photo all about. So like any sane person, I didn't look it up on Google. Instead, I watched the whole first season of Kakegurui. And I think I have an ounce of understanding what this anime was all about. If you haven't seen it, just so you know, this video is going to be littered with tons of spoilers, so I recommend you watch it first. It is an absolute wild and freaky ride to say the least. But before I dive into the show, I want to know why they gamble like that. Don't get me wrong, it's exciting and it got me hooked with all the twists and mind-bending decisions, but I don't think that's gambling, you know? This is true gambling. Okay, I'm trolling. Let me start off by saying that the MC of this anime, Jabami Yumeko, I like her. I like her a lot. Of course, I'd have a huge preference for someone who tends to win more and humbles the absolute shit out of their enemies. I literally just came off from Classroom of the Elite with another goated MC in Ayano Koji, so it's no surprise I'd be rooting for her. I just don't want to adjust the elephant in the room. Yeah, I'ma ignore that. But I love the humbling they do in this anime. For some reason, whenever an enemy gets so arrogant and so full of themselves, they pull this weird contorted face as if telling the audience, just try to punch his face. And you gotta admit, when Saotome pulled it, or when Itsuki pulled it, Hiwatari the rapey piece of shit, even the Manabu looking motherfucker, bro. Which is kind of ironic if you look at it, because his name is Manyuda and it sounds similar to Manabu from Classroom of the Elite. Anyways, I loved seeing them pull that face. And then the next second, they're either defeated, on the floor crying, crashing out, or turning into Kaneki. It felt so satisfying. But I'm kinda a sore loser. I didn't like seeing Yumeko lose to Nishino Toin or tied against Ikishima. Although I understand why it happened. The student council had to butt in to prevent losing so much money, and the latter didn't need to have anyone getting hurt. Plus, not satisfying the lust Ikishima had was for the better. I'm just not a very patient person, you see. On the topic of Ikishima, I want to say this. I feel like a lot of people like her because she's wild and has this tendency to climax in the most serious of situations. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. I didn't really like her. I mean, the whole thing itself is already over the top, but I'm willing to ignore that. It's the fact she's so obsessed with Yumeko to the point of wanting to be enslaved by her, even using Suzui as an example. When this whole time, the reason Suzui and Yumeko are close isn't because she forced or enslaved him. It's because she treats him as a friend, something her mentally unstable ass could never experience. Chuck in that other girl as well who wears animal hoodies, you know, I forgot her name. I'm like low-key irritated whenever she laughs or giggles. It just grates my ears. But let's just move on from that. Because I did notice one thing from watching this anime. You know how I came from watching Classroom of the Elite, right? That means I'm used to Ayane Koji, the MC, never really losing. Well, with Yumeko, she feels different. I still do think she wants to win, but maybe this whole time, she doesn't care whether she loses or not. She doesn't care about the results. She only cares if she can gamble or not. Honestly, just give her a casino machine and keep her in there. As for Saotome Meri, I actually ended up liking her more and more. During that scene when she and Yumeko teamed up to turn the piece of shit guy into a house pet, felt like she was going in the right direction. And I'm not gonna lie, I was warming up to her. Same goes for Itsuki, when she gave all her money and ripped all her nails, signifying she was gambling her life, told me, yeah, she was definitely redeemable. After what she did to those people who lost to her and gave their nails as payment. Last but not the least, I want to talk about Suzui. Guess what? I love the dude. You know why? Remember when he helped Mary by cheating because he was a house pet during their game with Yumeko, only to regret what he did, said sorry to Yumeko, then decided to drop out only for her to pay his debt. From that alone, I knew he was incapable of hurting people. I knew he was never going to be the type of person who was an asshole. The type of guy who wouldn't even try to get back at people who wronged him. The best example being Mary herself. He never tried to get back at her. And then we see a small glimpse of what he's capable of. In that final episode, I loved his appearance and importance. Because even I myself Knowing that either Kirari or Yumiko might get expelled was the worst outcome. I'd rather see what Kirari is capable of before we even boo her out of the show. As for Yumiko, yeah, she's pretty much guaranteed to survive no matter what. But I love what Suzui did instead, by drawing the one car that makes sure no one gets expelled. Even though the risks were so high, he still pulled through and won. I mean, that alone made me root for Suzui. People might call him boring or uninteresting and all that, but in a world filled with Marys, Ikishimas, Yumikos, and Kiraris, Suzui becomes special. I guess you could say I can relate more to him because I'm ass in gambling, but I would love to see him more in the next season. All in all, this anime was amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Seen tons of humblings and downfalls. Still a lot of things to talk about. I still want to talk about the house pet system. I mean, that in itself is already messed up. Even the life program. And most of all, what is up with Yumiko and her popping her ult, then letting the game either go in her favor or use the right words to bend people around her? Well, we'll only find out in season 2. But that's pretty much it for me. I'm Aaron. Have a blessed day, afternoon, evening, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Sayonara.